Martin Coddington's. Now that's a good movie.
Welcome back to our show. Today we watched Carol. Carol is by Todd Haynes. We watched a movie of his called Poison early on, which was his first film. And this time we're watching one of his latest films. This one was made in 2015, I believe. Carol is a movie about two women who fall in love in 1950s New York. A very touching movie. It deals a lot with the courage that it takes for these two women to be open to loving each other in this time period. Because exposing yourself as gay in 1950 would ruin your life, if not get you killed. And it quickly goes south for them, obviously. The two women are played by Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara, respectively Carol and Therese. Carol is currently getting a divorce from her husband, who she obviously doesn't love, because she's trying to be more honest to who she is, obviously for her own sanity, but also for her daughter. And her being gay becomes an issue because her ex is claims a moral clause for sole custody of their child. And so she tries to play a dance of seeing psychologists to help her with her gay problem, and is trying to pretend, like go to family dinners with her ex and trying to pretend to fit in this lifestyle. And so she cuts ties with Therese. And Therese then kind of focuses herself into her work, and is trying to, because she's younger in the film. So she's in this weird place where she's trying to figure out who she is as a person, which, isn't really encouraged by anyone around her. And so she has scenes where she thinks that like her trying to find herself is somehow wrong or is inconvenient to people around her. She keeps apologizing for it through the movie. Which, isn't the case, especially she apologizes to Carol even in one scene. And obviously Carol just wants her to be happy and be who she is. And so there's a couple touching scenes where Carol just has to reassure her that her trying to figure out who she is isn't a burden, but is just her living her life. So when they have this big split where Carol's trying to do the right thing for her daughter before she ultimately decides that being true to who she is the right thing for her daughter. Therese she quits her department store job and tries to pursue photography for New York Times, which she gets, and is moved on from Carol. But then by the end of the movie, where Carol decides to be honest with who she is, she goes after Therese. And initially, Therese rejects her, I think, because when they split and the rejection before hurt so deeply that she was almost scared to open herself up again. And it just goes back to Well, and then by the end of the movie, they do end up back together when Therese realizes that like she isn't complete without Carol. And yeah, so I think the theme of the movie overall is just the courage it takes to love somebody, and just being open to that experience, and being like not in control of another person, and the mystery and doubt that comes with that. Sarah Paulson is also in it and plays Carol's best friend, who also is a source of anxiety to Therese, because like they also had like a thing years ago, and so she just has these moments of jealousy, and is just uncertain, because she's so young and still trying to figure things out. It's a beautiful movie. It ends on, I mean, it's a much more positive film than Poison, what we watched before. Ends on a good note. And yeah, it's, this one is not nearly as experimental as Todd Haynes' first movie. He's older now and obviously has settled down and kind of figured out, his voice or style. And yeah, he hasn't made a whole lot of films. I did find out I had seen one of his movies before. I think it's a film called I'm Still Here. It's a biopic on Bob Dylan, which was also interesting. But yeah, so he hasn't done a lot, but I probably will continue to try to check out his movies and look forward to seeing what else he makes. But yeah, just a good love story, and not a goofy love story or like, but a down to earth love story, which was really nice. But yeah, so that's our show today. Thanks for watching.